We're almost done with the year 2021, and what a year it was. We saw Google finally develop its own identity with the Pixel 6 series. We saw Samsung release arguably the best folding phone ever made, the Galaxy Z Fold 3. And we saw Apple release, well, arguably the same phone as last year, but with small changes. But if there's one thing we should definitely appreciate about the year 2021 and Apple, it is that this may have been the last year we've got a new iPhone mini. Because we heard rumors that those didn't sell well, and so Apple may be discontinuing the mini lineup. Now, I've always used big, and I mean huge Android smartphones like the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and the Asus ROG Phone 5 Ultimate, because I appreciate big screens and big batteries. But since this may be the last year I get to try a new tiny flagship smartphone, I've decided to switch to the iPhone 13 mini to see just how much of a difference a small phone like that would make in my daily life. So I'm actually trying two new things, an iPhone for the first time and a tiny phone for the first time. And let me tell ya, it was quite the adjustment. Well, I do love the big screens of those huge Android phones as I mentioned, as well as their big batteries. They were a hassle to carry around, and they're heavy and unwieldy at times. So having this light and tiny iPhone in my pocket feels pretty awesome and different. But you know what's less awesome? The typing experience on this iPhone. I cannot for the life of me write a sentence without typos because my fingers are way too big for this on-screen keyboard. So I always end up pressing the wrong surrounding keys on accident. Now there's my first compromise. I no longer enjoy or even want to write messages on my phone. But wait, there's more. I no longer enjoy or want to watch videos on it either because this is a tiny 5.4-inch screen. Even watching a short YouTube clip feels kinda bad, let alone trying to watch a whole movie on this. There's a lot of squinting and struggling to see things. So there's my second compromise that I got to get used to. But again, it's small and light. I like that. And you should really expect to give up some things when you go with a phone this small. So I don't blame this iPhone for offering a bad video watching experience. It's pretty much to be expected. But I can already see why it didn't sell so good. Nowadays many people are using their phones for pretty much anything, including watching Netflix and such. And this phone size just doesn't work for that. But hey, even if you can get by with this screen size, watching videos wouldn't be a great experience because of those teeny speakers. And there we come to the second issue I have with this phone. The Asus ROG Phone 5 Ultimate, I mentioned before, has probably the best stereo speakers on any phone. So using it pretty much spoiled me. Now I want and expect great speakers. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 also has solid stereo speakers, but due to its size, the iPhone 13 mini doesn't sound as good as the bigger iPhones. So yeah, watching videos and movies on this thing and actually enjoying it is definitely out of the question, for me at least, because you can't really see what's happening and it doesn't sound too good either. Hardware aside, let's move on to the software because I'm used to using Android and now I had to get used to iOS. While I like how consistent it looks and how smoothly it runs, I'm missing some features here. For whatever reason, iOS doesn't offer split-screen multitasking, which I use a lot on Android. Now, on this particular iPhone, sure, the screen is tiny already, so splitting the screen between two apps won't be an amazing experience. But why isn't this a feature at least on the bigger iPhones? Another thing that bothers me is how many apps are missing on Apple's App Store that are available on Google's Play Store. Meaning, Android users have access to pretty much whatever they want, no matter how questionable, including torrenting apps, emulators. You can even run Linux on your Android phone by just downloading an app, but Apple doesn't allow any of this on iPhone. We could argue that this is the morally right thing to do, but I just find it funny how Google is like a chill parent, while Apple is like a strict parent who doesn't let you do anything that may or may not be bad. And overall, I don't like being restricted and told what I can and can't have on my phone, so once again, I'm missing Android. But hey, that's enough complaining for one day. Apple is weird, iOS is restrictive, but also really polished and smooth. The iPhone mini is built beautifully with those flat edges and premium materials, and most importantly, it's thin and light. And I've learned to overlook all my gripes with Apple, iOS, and this small screen size for that extreme portability. But will I stick with this iPhone just because it's convenient to carry around? Probably not. As soon as a flagship Android phone comes out with a similar design to this, similarly good performance, and maybe a screen size of about 6 inches, I'll switch to that one for sure. Because I've come to realize that the design is what sold me on this phone the most, not so much the small screen size. But it was worth trying out the smallest iPhone anyways, just to see how important big screens actually are. In the end, the smallest iPhone and probably the last iPhone mini isn't for me, and like I said, I understand now why it didn't sell as well as Apple wanted. In any case, there we have it. That was my experience of switching from big Android phones to the smallest iPhone. Have you done a switch between iPhone and Android? Let us know in the comments how that was for you. Thanks for watching, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.